Hi everyone, so I'm picking this vlog up where I left the last one off. So it's Wednesday the 11th and I'm currently on my way to my friend's house trying to keep my sunburn covered up. So plans for today, I might get a little bit of reading done in her garden, but I'm not banking on it. And then later on I'll be watching the England match, so I'm not going to get much reading done there. So it's likely the first chance I'll get to do any proper reading will be in bed tonight. I'm also wondering how my mum's getting on with her current read. So I gave her a new book last week, which was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. She's never read Harry Potter before. She's never watched the films properly. She's not really into them. So I think it'd be quite interesting to find out how she's getting on with that, if she's started it yet. I also want to find out what she thought of The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night Time, because she was close to finishing that last week. If I can get my mum to come on camera at my friend's house in a bit, I will do so. Otherwise, we will definitely have little clips of the dog in the garden, if the dog will come. So in case I film any other clips later, I feel like this needs kind of explaining right now. I'm sat here in my pyjamas so that I can keep as much of me out of the sun as possible. I've already been in the pool once with my pyjamas on, which really helped the swelling on my knees actually, so I'm gonna keep regularly getting in there because it's nice and cold against my burns, so that's helping. But yeah, in case I film any clips later, I thought I should probably explain the fact that I'm sat here dressed like this, so then future on in this video you won't be there going, what on earth? Good morning, it is Thursday the 12th of July, and yes, I am vlogging in bed with bed hair, bed face, and just feeling a little bit sorry for myself because my sunburn is still so sore. I don't know what to do with myself. So I'm having a bit of a lie-in because putting clothes on is just not going to be a comfortable experience. And I'm going to do a bit more reading, I think. So I did do a bit of reading last night after the England match, which, by the way, that England match, that serves us right in some ways for, as a country, just being a bit too cocky, I think. We thought we'd got it in the bag, is my opinion, and we should know by now we have never got it in the bag. But anyway, football done. Won't be losing out on any more reading time due to football because I'm working during the third, fourth kind of position match on Saturday. So I'm going to be reading today, and I should be recording videos, but I'm still too hot and bothered and sore, so I'm going to try and leave it till tomorrow, I think, and hope that I feel a little bit better then. But I did some reading last night and I got to 20% in The Sapphire Widow by Diana Jeffries, and I've realised that I've not even told you what it's about. So I've been reading it on my Kindle, which with books like this doesn't always do me any favours, because I feel like if I was reading the physical book, I'd be able to tell just how secretly long this book is. Like, I'm sure it's only about 400 pages or something, but I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those books where the font's just tiny and packed in, because it still thinks that at 20% in, I've got like just under 7 hours worth of reading to go. So it's pretty long. But I've finally got into the story properly, and I realise I've not really told you what it's about or anything. So it's a historical fiction set in the 1930s in Ceylon, and it focuses around, if I'm correct, I'm not 100% sure on this, but if I'm correct, 2 characters who are from England, or they've got like English families or something. So a woman named Louisa and a partner named, oh, I'm so terrible with names, Eddie, is that his name? I'm going to feel an idiot if it's not, but I think it might be. Anyway, if it's not, just forget that bit. Her partner, and like, they've been struggling to have a baby. It's putting a lot of pressure on their relationship. They argue a lot, but then they also make up a lot, and they've just got this really fiery sort of relationship. And he keeps going out a lot and claiming he's like at work or whatever, but till silly hours, and getting in like drunk in some cases. He's been gambling in some cases, and everything's just a bit terrible in their relationship. Anyway, this isn't a spoiler because this is on like the blurb, but basically last night when I was reading, he was found dead. He'd had a car crash and he wasn't even meant to be in a car. He'd told her that he was going, like, I can't remember, something like fishing or something, like going on a boat anyway. And yet he was seen, he was found driving to, I want to say Colombia. I don't know whether I just want to say Colombia because of football. Possibly Colombia. And yeah, he'd crashed his car and it wasn't even like his car, it was someone else's car. So like Louisa's like, I don't get it. That's not even his car. And he wasn't even meant to be there. He was meant to be somewhere else. Like, what's going on? And there was no one else in the car. So it's like, ooh, wonder what was really going on. We're starting to get into the mystery depths of the book, which I love. Diana Jeffries really puts really nice kind of domestic mysteries into her historical fictions. And it just makes them unputdownable, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm going to read that a bit until I decide that I really need to get out of bed, because it's pretty lazy to still be in bed at this point. But I'm sore and I'll be reading, so that's constructive. Right, I can't remember what I ended up saying his name was, but I've just started reading and it turns out his name is Elliot. So yeah, I got Louisa's name right, but I don't feel like I said Elliot. Did I say Eddie? It's Elliot. And the place he was trying to go was Colombo, not Colombia. So yeah, I'm rubbish with names. Always have been, always will be. And he was going sailing, not fishing. How many more details do I want to get wrong? But at least reading this within the next few minutes has got me all caught up with what I read last night in my sleepy state. So I just got up out of bed and made an omelette. This one is looking much better than last week's. Pretty yummy, can't wait to tuck into it. Also, just a quick update, I am now 31% of the way through The Sapphire Widow by Diana Jeffries. I'm really getting into that. I can't wait to read more of that later on. Good morning. It's now Friday the 13th of July and I'm hoping this isn't an unlucky day for me. So I started the day by filming my June book haul. I'm currently editing that and I filmed another video as well. And while editing, I've just had a package through. So I'm going to unbox because it is the 2 books that I have allowed myself to buy for this month. So I'm super excited to see how thick these are. I'm thinking not very, since I'm hoping both of them are in here. Why do these never work for me? Seriously. Yes, they are both in here. So I was scrolling around on Amazon yesterday and saw that one of the books that I wanted to buy myself for this month was on the 2 for £7 paperbacks deal. And so I grabbed it, and this is The Extinction Trials by S.M. Wilson. I've seen Brit over at Basically Brit talking about this a lot recently, and it caught my eye, and since then I've been like, I need to read this book. So this is described as being the Hunger Games meets Jurassic Park. So I'm thinking, if this is anything like what I want it to be, this could be really good. So on the back it says, Betrayal, Sacrifice, Survival, Welcome to the Extinction Trials. In Storm Chaser and Lincoln's ruined world, the only way to survive is to risk everything, to face a contest more dangerous than anyone can imagine, and they will do anything to win. But in a land full of monsters, human and reptilian, they can't afford to trust anyone, perhaps not even each other. And if I do enjoy this, I believe the sequel comes out this month, I think. So I might get that then next month as my next month's book. But because that was on 2 for £7, I needed to try and find something else. There were quite a few books on there that interested me, but not to the point where I wanted to kind of pay the extra few pounds to get it as 2 for £7 deal. And then I saw this. So this is A Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, and I don't know whether it was a year or 2 years ago now where like everyone was reading this. I never managed to get an advance copy on NetGalley. I kept thinking I'll buy a Kindle copy at some point. Then I didn't do that either, or at least I hope I didn't. I think I checked that I hadn't before I bought this. So I decided to grab it. I've heard great things about this one, but not very good things about the sequel. So I'll read this and then decide from there what I'm going to do, I think. But this is just, I need to get that sticker off. This is just such a fantastic cover. So in case you don't remember what this is about, or you hadn't seen people talking about it, this is a YA novel. I can't remember the details, so I'm just going to read the back. A diabolic is ruthless. A diabolic is powerful. A diabolic has a single task: kill, in order to protect the person you've been created for. Nemesis is a diabolic created to protect a galactic senator's daughter, Sidonia, the girl who is as much a sister as a master. There's nothing Nemesis wouldn't do to keep her safe. But when the power-mad Emperor summons Sidonia to the galactic court as a hostage, there is only one way for Nemesis to protect Sidonia. She must become her, hide her true abilities, and pretend to be human. As the Empire begins to fracture and rebellion looms closer, Nemesis learns that there is something stronger than her deadly force. The one thing she's been told she doesn't have: humanity. And amidst all the danger, action and intrigue, that might be the only thing that can save her, Sidonia and the entire Empire. So I'm so excited for these two. So happy, especially for this one. And I've got to give them the compulsory sniff. It smells good. Do you smell even better? No, you don't smell as good, actually. If you've read either of these and you've got any thoughts on them, please let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to hear about what you thought of them. Hopefully I'll be able to get to them soon, because my plan is to try and read books as I buy them, and that's not working well for me because I'm still working my way through Harry Potter, but I'm hoping I'll be able to catch up once I'm done with Harry Potter. That's the plan. Anyway, I need to get back to editing, and then I'm hoping to read some Harry Potter before work. So it is now Sunday the 15th of July. So we're like getting towards halfway through the month, and I haven't finished reading anything yet. I'm about to sit down and read a bulk of Harry Potter, as I am home alone for the time being. I've spent today out with friends, and the plan was we'd actually paid and arranged everything to go and do like an inflatable outdoor course called Labyrinth, which is travelling all over the UK, and we'd bought kind of like discount tickets, and we got there and there was no sign of anything, so we went indoors and like kind of asked someone, and it had been cancelled, and we hadn't been told, and we'd travelled for like an hour in the car to get there, so we were like, well, what do we do now then? So we were like panicking, trying to find something to do to not waste the day, because it's been a glorious sunny day, and we thought there was a castle just down the road, and two of us are really into castles. Me and my friend Dave like love castles, we're so into them, and like would happily go anyway. And the other two friends that we were with were quite happy to go. It's not like their idea of an amazing day out, but they don't hate them, and they've been to another castle with us before. So we decided to do that, and we had a fantastic time, and I actually remembered to take some photos and some videos. So I'm just going to be flashing those up throughout this clip, and just kind of just throwing my little video clips in together here as well. I don't really thought this through, or how I was going to link all this stuff in, so I've not really thought about that. But also, I would just go and grab, I also bought some stuff from there too, so I've got like a mini castle haul to show you. Just grab the bag. I didn't get much, it's not like a great big thing, but some of the items are kind of bookish related stuff, so this might actually, you know, count as a little mini book haul. So first of all, Luke didn't come with us, so I'm just trying to find his present out first, just to get his out of the way, because his is the only not bookish related item. Found it. Since Luke didn't come, I wanted to get him something so he could feel a part of it, so I just got him some peppermint rock. I was like, I don't know what he'd like. Everyone likes rock, surely. It's been ages since we've had any rock. We don't really go to the seaside, so yeah. I got Luke some rock. Meanwhile, I got myself a guidebook. So it was Kenilworth Castle that we went to, which is near Coventry sort of direction, I think. and this guidebook will probably make for some really fun reading for me. The other Castle Geek also got a guidebook, so us two were like in our elements. I'm really looking forward to like sitting down and reading this properly. I wonder if I can count this as a book on Goodreads. I'll have to have a look, I think, because I feel like it'd be nice to be able to count this. And you'd be surprised what counts on Goodreads. I mean, my Harry Potter Studio Tour guidebook is on there, so I might actually be able to still get away with that. Then I was looking in the gift shop, and when I can, I like to collect bookmarks from places to like remind me of my trips there. And I've been struggling recently with places I've been to get many bookmarks. But here, there was lots of choice, and I only got 2. I could have got a lot more. There was loads to choose from. But I got this one, which is just a picture of the castle along with a little description on the side. And then on the back there is also a timeline of what happened at the castle. So for example, when Elizabeth I was there in 1575, she was there for 19 days entertaining apparently. There's loads of other little details in there. And then my friend went, "Oh, look at these bookmarks," thinking they weren't really bookmarks because she thought she was just making a joke, and it turned out they were actually bookmarks. So I got one of these too. I wanted to get them all, but they were £9 a go. Yeah, £9 a go. But at least I'm supporting the English heritage and all that, so I don't mind so much. But it's like a proper tapestry as a bookmark, and I don't own any like this, so I think that's totally justified. I've got a medieval bookmark, and I think that's really cute. So yeah, I've been flashing pictures up throughout this clip, and hopefully I will have talked for long enough at this point to move on to the videos. But if I haven't, I will flash up the rest of the pictures here, and then I will move on to the videos from there. And then the next time you see me talking will be for another book update. So I hope you don't mind this castle intrusion, but I thought it was really quite interesting, and I'm sure you'd like to see some of the views because it's been a fantastic sunny day with wonderful views. So yeah, hope you enjoy this content. Also, I just looked up the guidebook on Goodreads and it's on there. I'm so excited. I am definitely putting this in my reading for this year because I need all the help I can get in catching up on my Goodreads goal. And also, I just think that it counts as reading, so it'd be really nice to have it count. And it's a really nicely put together guidebook, actually. It's got really wonderful pictures, photos, illustrations, paintings, the lot. If I just get just a random one here. Like, this is difficult. This is so nicely put together. It smells beautiful and glossy. It was £5, and I feel like that's £5 well spent. And yeah, supporting the wonderful English heritage and all our history, it was just, you know, a no-brainer really. Hi everyone, so it is 12:47 on the 18th of July, and I have just finished Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and I've spent a lot of the last hour crying. I'm not sure whether I cried the first time I read this book. I'm sure I probably did. I'm going to put it down, it's heavy. But it broke my heart into a million pieces. Not the death, but the reaction of a certain creature to the death. The singing, and I just felt so sad for it. And I just wanted to just help the poor the poor creature. I don't want to say exactly what because I don't want to spoil the small amount of people in the world that are totally clueless to what I'm on about right now. But I just, oh, I'm getting all teary thinking of it again even now. So I've never considered this one of my favourites in the series, to be honest. But I'm now thinking that maybe second or third favourite. This reread of mine is just totally rearranging all the book orders for me. Like, I'm really loving different ones more than I did back when I read them as a child. It's nice to get something different out of them this time around. So this broke me, absolutely broke me. It does mean that I have finished one of my OWL exams. So let me just dig out my notes for that and see what subject I have completed, because I can't remember. I've just completed my Care of Magical Creatures exam, because it was to read a book that includes magical creatures or features a magical creature on the cover. So that means that in August I can take my Care of Magical Creatures N.E.W.T. So at some point I will be looking at what books I can use for that. That is currently the only one I have completed, so I kind of need to get a bit of a jog on this month, I feel. I feel like it's going to have been like a slow start, but a good finish. I still feel really good about July. I've done a lot of reading, it's just I'm reading long books. So next, obviously I am still reading The Sapphire Widow by Dinah Jeffries, which is my History of Magic exam. But next up is, where is it? Defense Against the Dark Arts, a book about or featuring secret societies / clubs. So of course I'm going to be reading Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, because that features the Order of the Phoenix still, like all of them do from the 5th book onwards. So that is going to be what my next one is. Hopefully I can get that finished easily before the end of the month too, which would mean that I'll have completed that as well, because then I want to try and also do my Charms exam, because that's just read the Tales of Beedle the Bard, which I've never actually read, and that would be a nice, really quick, easy one, and will make me suddenly feel like I've gone from no progress to loads of progress. So yeah, I'm going to go and pick up the Deathly Hallows now and read that for about an hour till my mum comes round. I'm just like on some sort of Harry Potter binging session today. I just need to just keep reading. I feel an emotional wreck, and I know full well that when I read The Deathly Hallows, which again I've only read once, but when I read The Deathly Hallows when that came out, I cried my eyes out near the beginning at a death that happens there. I just can't handle animals. Like, it makes me want to cry just think about it. I'm just going to get a grip and get on with it and hope that I'm not crying when my mum gets here in a bit. I will also then be able to find out how she's getting on reading The Philosopher's Stone. Maybe she'll be nearly finished with it. Maybe. Stranger things have happened. I'm in shock. I've just updated my status to reading this book on Goodreads to find that the first time I read it, I gave it 4 stars, not 5. What on earth is that about? Time to get stuck in. Wow, this lighting's not great. So it is now a Thursday, the 19th of July. It's nearly 10:30 in the morning. And I just did something really stupid, but I'm kind of just going to roll with it. So I just filmed a book review. Doesn't sound like a big deal. No, it's not a big deal. I just sat down to film it in quite a lazy spot because I couldn't be bothered to set up properly. Got halfway through recording the video and realised that, 1, I hadn't got any makeup on. Not a big deal, I often vlog without makeup on. 2, I'd also not brushed my hair yet today, so I look like a tramp in that video. And I just don't have the heart to refilm it, because at the end of the day, what does it matter what I look like? I'm just talking about a book. Yeah, I feel a bit silly. It's probably the best word to use right now. So I wanted to get that done nice and early today, because I've got work tonight, but I want to spend all of today trying to make more progress with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, because I made excellent progress. I can't even reach it. I've left it out of reach. Oh, crap. That's what happens when you try to pick up a book one-handed. Oh, crap again. What page am I on? At least I have evidence here that I'm actually wearing a dress now, since I'm struggling to juggle everything. There we go. Right. So I made excellent progress yesterday. I am on page, you'd think I'd have looked when I was dropping everything then, 234. So 234. I started this yesterday, which is good progress alone, but I didn't just start this yesterday. I finished the Half-Blood Prince yesterday, and I read a good couple of 100 pages of that too. So I read a lot yesterday, and I'm so pleased with the progress. I feel like I didn't properly talk you through everything to do with the Half-Blood Prince. I just sort of did a bit of a gushing moment because I was still upset from the kind of fallout of the end of that book. So basically, with that book, I never realised, because I read it when it came out and I've not read it again since, just how much I enjoyed it. I had always thought it was sort of midway through the series in terms of my favourites, but this reread is just rearranging everything, and now I feel like that might be my second favourite. That might have overtaken Order of the Phoenix even. I think it has. So right now I think my favourite would be Prisoner of Azkaban, and then my second favourite would be Half-Blood Prince, and then my third would be Order of the Phoenix. That is just insane to me that this reread has led to me kind of changing my opinions on the books and changing my rankings, and I might even make a video about it. I think that'd be a good idea. I feel up for that. So, yeah, I want to make more progress with this today. I'm not expecting to finish it because that would be insane. But if I could get towards the end, that would be great. I'm mainly rushing through my physical books right now because I got a bit naughty the other night. And there was a Prime sale on Amazon Prime. And the new Kindle, the Kindle Oasis 2017, had got £50 off. And I was looking at it and looking at it. And in the end, I bought it. So that's due to arrive any second now today. So I want to try and read as much of my physical TBR as I can so I can spend the rest of the month reading on my new Kindle, because I'm going to want to read on it all the time, let's face it. And this poor old dear, this loyal poor old Paperwhite that I've had for ages, will be going to my mum. So that's the plan. So yeah, I just need to see how much I can get read before my new Kindle arrives, and I just end up jumping onto reading on that. I've only got, if I finish this, which I already said that's not going to happen today, but if I finish this before the end of the month, I've only got one other physical book to read before the end of the month anyway, so I can literally just spend the rest of the month reading on my Kindle then. And my other physical book actually is just tiny anyway, because it's just Tales of Beedle the Bard, which I've never read. So I can read that surely very quickly. That looks a deliberately quick read. That's why I picked it for this O.W.Ls TBR. So then I can just plough through my Kindle books, so maybe I'll make excellent progress with them because I won't want to put my new Kindle down, and maybe I can still do really well for my O.W.Ls, because right now I've only finished one book. I'm well on my way with some others, so hopefully I'll make good progress. I've still not started my audiobook for my O.W.Ls either, which is just absolutely terrible. I really need to try and do something about that. I've not wanted to listen to An Ember in the Ashes. I'm almost tempted to temporarily DNF it and give it another go some other time and just move on to my audiobook for the readathon. Might do that. I don't DNF easily, and it's not a permanent DNF, it's just a kind of put you down and pick you up someday in the future. I've not felt motivated to listen to it at all. I don't think I'm particularly enjoying the audio, but maybe it's one of those I need to read as a physical book. I don't know. I'll see how I get on. Either way, I'm going to go and read Harry Potter for now, and maybe I'll film an unboxing clip of my Kindle in a bit. Hi everyone, update time. So it is Monday the 23rd of July, and it is 10:15 a.m. and I'm just currently editing and uploading a video I just shot, which is going up later tonight. And I'm just so happy with my reading right now. I've not updated for a few days because I've been busy and I've just been like too engrossed in my reading to vlog, as ridiculous as that sounds. So whenever I've been reading, I've been like totally in my zone. So first of all, first update, I finished Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and I finished that in like 2 days, which is probably pretty much not that far off when I finished it when it first came out, which I was also 11 years ago. That popped up on my time hop the same day as I finished it, so I was like, oh, how cute, what a coincidence. So the first time I read that book, I apparently gave it 4 stars. And I can see why I did at the time, because I was probably disappointed in the direction it went in terms of like, one of the things I enjoyed most reading the series back in the day and also now is like the lessons and stuff and how interesting they are and how those come across. So I think I was probably a little bit frustrated at the lack of lessons at Hogwarts. But this time around, oh my goodness, I was so up for the story because obviously I knew where it was going to go. I probably missed a lot of the details first time around because I did try and fly through it because it was like this great big mission to read it as fast as you could before people could spoil you for the final ending of Harry Potter. So I probably rushed it a little bit the first time around. Not that I didn't rush it this time, because 2 days for that book was impressive for me. Like, I had other things going on and still I was like, I must read this book. Like every chance I could get, I was reading a page here, a page there if necessary. And then just reading for like 6 hours straight when I could too. So I enjoyed it a lot, and I think I cried at it more than I ever did last time. Although I didn't cry at the death I cried at last time. But all the same, I did loads of crying and I did loads of smiling, and I was just like, oh, mm. And it feels really strange to actually be done with my reread, because I've been doing this a lot longer than I thought I would be. I started in like October, November. So it's been a slow journey. But that means that I have completed my O.W.L exam for Defence Against the Dark Arts. So now I have started my Charms exam. Not enough hands. So my Charms exam is to read The Tales of Beedle the Bard with additional notes by Professor Albus Dumbledore. I'm currently on page 63 of this. I've never read it before. I got it a couple of years ago and I've just never actually picked it up. So it's been an interesting read. I also really like picking this up so freshly after finishing the Deathly Hallows, because this plays a heavy part in that and it's nice to kind of have that link. But I think it's safe to say I will easily finish that probably tonight, which means that I then only have my Kindle books to go. My Kindle did come the other day, my new Oasis. I absolutely adore it. I wanted to unbox it on camera, but I didn't get it until really late. It came just as I had to leave for work. And then by the time I got in from work, it was like, I'm going to say it was about 1 a.m. So I really wasn't in the mood to actually sit and unbox it. I just wanted to get it open and dive into it. So I've got it on charge right now, but here it is. Awkward angle. So that was a little bit of a disappointment to not be able to actually film that. But my plan is later in August to film a review of my experience on that and whether you should upgrade and all that kind of thing, because I was watching so many videos like that before I got mine and I don't feel like many of them helped sell the Kindle to me overall. And my experience so far in having it in just a few days is that I absolutely adore it and I'm so glad I upgraded. So yeah, I think I'm going to film a review for it in August. So if you're interested in potentially upgrading your Kindle, then keep an eye out for that video. But my plan now, when this finishes uploading, is to go around my friends and show off my Kindle, do a bit of reading, do a bit of sunbathing. Now that I'm starting to actually go a bit more brown. This looks red in the camera, but it's brown, I promise. That's brown. And the rest of my brown's starting to actually fade a little bit because I've not been in the sun since last Sunday in those castle clips, which is only about 5 minutes ago for you. So yeah, I might do some more vlogging in a bit. If not, I will catch up with you when I've done some more reading. Oh, and quickly as well, I did give up on An Ember in the Ashes for now. I'll pick that up again some other time. And I have started my audiobook of A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I'm only 8% in, but I am loving it so far. I did wonder whether I would suffer from the whole "is this book overhyped" thing, but so far so good. And also my reading of The Sapphire Widow by Dinah Jeffries. I've got about 30% left of that, approximately 2 hours worth of reading. I might get some of that done today in the garden, but otherwise I will definitely finish that tonight too, and I'm loving that too. It's really turning out quite differently so far to what my theory was as to what's going on, and I'd quite like to see how things all come together, because the little mystery bit involved, I'd got a theory and I'm starting to think I was actually really drastically wrong. But yeah, this update is long enough. Catch you in a bit. So, update time. The other day I finished, well, I can't remember where I updated to and where I didn't, but I did finish Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I'm sure I updated that, so I'm just going to skip over that little detail. I then finished The Tales of Beedle the Bard, which, to be honest, I wasn't that interested in the tales, except for the one that I already knew, The Tale of the Three Brothers, which is in the Deathly Hallows. I enjoyed coming across that again in here. But what I did really love was the extra notes by Albus Dumbledore. I thought they were fantastic, which is why I've given this book 4 stars. If it had been down to the tales alone, I'd have probably given it like 3. But the extra notes from Dumbledore, and also the illustrations in this, my goodness, I'm not sure if I can grab it one-handed, but even just this page demonstrates it, to be fair. Just the illustrations in this are just something else. I mean, it's a very nicely put together book. I'm struggling to try and grab another one. Oh, that one. I want that one. There we go. So we also have The Tale of the Three Brothers. So yeah, that is where I am with my reading, except that it's not. I've been having such a fantastic reading time. So I've also finished reading The Sapphire Widow by Dinah Jeffries, and I gave it 4 stars out of 5. So that is a historical fiction that is about a couple who live in Ceylon, and the woman thinks that everything's all nice and fine. They have the occasional argument and everything, but nothing major. And then he goes and dies in a car crash. But when he dies in this car crash, he is meant to be sailing, so she's really confused. He's not even driving his own car, he's borrowed one. She doesn't know where he was going, what he was doing. And this book follows that mystery while also kind of just immersing you in that historical time, in that place. And I just adore Dinah Jeffries' writing. I thought it was fantastic. The mystery wasn't quite as good as I was hoping for after reading The Tea Planter's Wife the other year, so that's why I gave it 4 stars rather than 5. It just wasn't quite up there for me. So now I have also started reading my next readathon book, which is A Secret History of Witches by... I'm not sure. The cover's next to my face right now. I've got a dilemma because, well, first of all, I lost a lot of reading time last night because I played The Sims 4. So I think getting all of my owls completed is going to be very tight. I'm not bothered whether I complete them or not, to be honest. I've already done so much better than I expected to do, because with most readathons I just go into some sort of massive reading slump, and with this one I really haven't. My problem is the Booktubeathon starts very soon, and I'm trying to decide whether to take part or not, because it overlaps the end of the Owls and the beginning of the Newts. So how am I meant to know where I am with these and what I want to be reading and somehow still doing the challenges? Meanwhile, Booktubeathon always puts me in a really bad reading slump, and I'm not sure why. Every single year I swear I've got in a massive slump, so I don't want to ruin my current wonderful reading kind of mojo. And I also just don't know what I'd pick. I don't like a lot of the challenges. I'm looking at my shelves like, how would I get any of this to kind of fit also with my N.E.W.Ts. I don't know at all. I might go and have a look and just see if I can even compose any sort of list at all of stuff I might want to read and take it from there. So I'm really still not having any luck with the whole trying to create a, what's the word? Oh my god. A TBR for the Booktubeathon, just because I was looking through my N.E.W.Ts for potential TBR, and it's just so difficult to make a TBR for that when I haven't finished my owls, because I'm still working on that. So I want to leave the TBR for that to the very last minute. So stress means that it leaves my Booktubeathon TBR a bit in the air. So in case you're not aware of what the Booktubeathon is, it's a yearly readathon, or even maybe biannual even, perhaps, readathon that is hosted by Ariel over at Ariel Bissett, and it's one that everyone is encouraged to get into in the community, and indeed many years all you'll see everywhere is people doing the Booktubeathon. So it's a big thing. This year it's running from the 30th of July to the 5th of August. So the challenge is, number one is to coin toss first read. I could potentially do that in a vlog. I could on the 30th when I've finished. Ouch! I just dropped some of the books I've picked up as a potential TBR. When I finished the book that I'm currently reading for whatever owl on the 30th, I could then do a coin toss for which one I'd do next out of those two. So I could do that, but I'll have to just vlog that at the time. Number two is read a book about something you want to do. Again, I'd have to look at what I'm reading at the time, and if not, pick up one of these maybe otherwise, because it's a bit tricky. Number three is read and watch a book to movie adaptation. That's probably not going to happen for me. Highly unlikely. You never know though. Number four is to read a book with green on the cover. I will look at that closer to the time and just kind of go, so this is my Booktubeathon green book. Number five is to read a book while wearing the same hat the entire time. Don't own many hats. The ones I do own will probably be quite a sweaty experience. I might just put a scarf or something over my head, otherwise make a little bandana kind of thing. That is doable. Number six is to read a book with a beautiful spine. Have many of those. Not sure I have many on my TBR, potentially though, for the N.E.W.Ts. So I'm not really sure whether I'll do that one either. And then number seven is just read 7 books. So I'm going to be doing my N.E.W.Ts. I'm going to be trying to read 7 books because I've picked up a bunch of books here that I want to get through in my N.E.W.Ts. And some of these are... try and pick up these drop books. Some of these are very short books. So... one-handed. Here is my potential Booktubeathon and beginning of N.E.W.Ts TBR. So just quickly talk you through what I've got here. I do have Quidditch Through the Ages, which is the O.W.Ls I edition, because I've just recently read, as you saw, The Tales of Beedle the Bard, so I want to continue on with my Harry Potter stuff. I also need to read Good Me, Bad Me by Ali Land, because my friend lent me this and I promised I'd get it back in August. I also want to buddy read Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne with Aoife over at Fred Weasley Died Laughing. I also want to finish off the rest of my Harry Potter reading and read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, parts 1 and 2 by etc, etc, etc. This will be a reread, but yeah, I want to just finish everything off properly. I also want to read The Making of Harry Potter Warner Brothers Studio Tour official guide. I've kind of dipped in and out this when I bought it, but I've never just sat down and properly looked at it all and given it a thorough reading. I think that'd be quite interesting. And I've also got this that I picked up at the castle earlier in this vlog, which is the English Heritage Kenilworth Castle guidebook. And again, I'd like to give this a really good read. So... that's quite a lot to be getting on with there anyway. Some of that may or may not make it into my Booktubeathon TBR. I don't know what I'm doing. It's so difficult trying to overlap readathon TBRs, especially for ones as big as the Owls and N.E.W.Ts. It's quite tricky. So yeah, I'm going to end this vlog here because I dread to think how long it is. I'm going to have a massive editing session and my mum's coming around in like half an hour. I might pick up the next vlog where this one leaves off and vlog tonight, but if not, I'm sure I will start again with that tomorrow and get you more into how I'm doing with my owls. I have only got a few days left at this point. 30 days of September, April, June, November, all the way. Okay, so I've still got like 6 days left, so there's time yet, but I'm at the point where I'd probably have to read a book a day to get all of my owls done. But I've definitely already read more than I expected to, so it's all good. Let me know if you're doing the Booktubeathon. Maybe link me to your TBR if you think that you're picking up some interesting books, if you want to recommend me any books, etc. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!